Looks like everything's up and running. And that's wonderful because we might cut out randomly due to a thunderstorm going on. Alright everyone, this is a real thing that happened last night, so allow me to explain it to you all. It was last night that Yida said, which characters are going to benefit most from Waft? Like, if every character had Waft. And I just kind of went, oh, that's actually a good question. And this unfortunately led to me having the stupidest idea of my life, which was streaming this. My objective opinion on this. Needless to say, this is quite possibly going to be the most ridiculous video I've ever done. Anywho, live from Wariocord, and without further ado, let's get on to it. So first we have Mario, who he loses Flood, but gains the Waft. There is not much benefit to that, except for gaining a new recovery move, I guess. And the thing is, it lasts only for a bit, so I kind of want to say no change. But it's like, he barely benefits. He is scraping by with barely benefits. He is hanging on the little ledge there, and it is because Flood is so much better in terms of, like, defense. And Waft is, like, great offensively and has, like, usage as a recovery tool. Although it's very niche. So yeah, he can go into barely benefits. DK. DK is a really neat one. I feel like that he's the first one who kind of gets no benefits out of it. Like, I'm gonna be straight up. Hand Slap is great. It's a good neutral tool. Spikes. And honestly, great tool, both combo-wise and like, oh, if someone's approaching, slap the ground aggressively and force them to jump. You know, that's a good thing. So yeah, I feel like he goes in no benefits since when you take that tool away from DK, he's losing. He lost something great, and what does he get out of it? Well, he gets like a recovery that takes a minute, basically, to fully charge up. Not great. Link. Link is definitely no benefits and a loss because loss of bomb. Need I say more? When Link loses remote bomb, he lost, like, all of his, like, playstyle. Like, sure, he got Waft, but he lost his bomb. Samus and Dark Samus, because they kind of had the same thing. Now, if I remember right, there is some things I need to read about. Bomb. You can get a small amount of height from it. And other than that, it does practically nothing useful. I'm gonna say that this goes into benefits tier. These two are gonna try and camp me out, right? And camping is the best way to build up... Whoa, Jesus. Camping is the best way to build up Waft. So obviously they're gonna try and camp out, build up Waft, approach, and then use it. And arguably I think Samus has the... She has a drill kick for up air. And that could be used for, like, literally, like, falling up air Waft, which is arguably pretty great. Oh shit, lightning. Oh, Jesus. Alright, Kirby. Down B is stone. Oh, that's actually kind of neat. Oh, there comes the rain. So, stone is like... I don't know, it's really situational. It doesn't feel like stone is really useful in a way that's, like, significant. And I bring up again, like, when I think about Kirby using the Waft, and I swear to God I wish I didn't have to say that sentence, but Kirby using the Waft, I think about, like, the reason that he would be doing this is because he needs to kill power. Because obviously he's not going to use, like, side B. And he's got a great recovery already. Oh. Are you going to leave again, Fats? Cat is interrupting stream as usual. He's going to be, like, using it as a kill move. I feel like he's not going to really get to use it, though, since he's light and squishy, so... Feels like there are no benefits. Maybe no change, actually. Kind of a went from a sort of situational down B to a similarly situational down B. Here you go, boy. Yeah. Poor cat is freaking out. Alright, Yoshi! Yoshi has, like, the Bowser bomb. It's like the Yoshi bomb or whatever. What's actually different from this thing from the Bowser bomb? Well, it can descend through soft platforms, I guess. It's a stall and fall, and, like... I don't know. There's no real benefits that Yoshi gets from... Waft. He has a great recovery. He has solid kill moves. But I'm trying to think, if the Yoshi bomb kind of breaks shield, I guess. Which is big. So I feel like he goes into no benefits, because he doesn't really get much from it. He just gets, like, at the least, a better recovery, but he already has a great recovery. Fox loses Reflector, but gains Waft. That's a neat one. Fox is, like, super rushdown. And when I think of things like Fox would want more of, probably not Waft, to be honest. I think there is. Yeah, I think Fox goes into barely benefits. He just doesn't feel like he's getting much for it, besides, like, very, very, very little. Just doesn't feel like he doesn't get much. Pikachu! Loses Thunder but gains Waft. Feel like this is a no benefits type of deal because Thunder is pretty great for Pikachu. If I remember right, you can actually edge guard pretty well with Thunder, and you can also stall at ledge. And yeah, there's really no use for Waft for Pikachu. If I remember correctly. No more up throw into Thunder for you. For that reason, I'm also going to put Pichu in no benefits. Because I believe, basically, they're the same. Luigi. Losing Tornado is big. Like, really big. Arguably the worst. Oh. Oh, my headphones weren't turned on. Neat. Anywho. Yeah, Luigi, you can go into... Tornado is just so important for Luigi, if I remember correctly. Alright. Yeah, function, so... I need to look more at the Luigi cycle to decide this, but... Alright. Smash Ultimate, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it's pretty good. Luigi, you can get into... I feel like this is going to be a controversial pick, everybody, but Luigi's going to go into no change. This is because I believe, although Tornado is great, he doesn't need it to be great. He has pretty good combo breakers in there. And I believe actually forward air is a decent one too. And yeah, I think that Waft can really change up Luigi's style. It definitely means that he gets a new thing to throw you into. So yeah. Ness loses his magnet, which absorbs projectiles. If I remember right, he has like a little squoinkity-dilly wave bounce thingamajig. Yeah, it's just like a healing vortex for projectiles. Kind of situational. Gets a new attack. Gets a better recovery out of it. You know, arguably he could actually stall you out with it. With PK Fire. Captain Falcon loses his best neutral tool and then gains Waft, which honestly he barely benefits from this. I will explain it why simply. There is no approach quite as awesome as Falcon Kick, and then you replace it with something that takes a full minute for Falcon to charge up, and like, that's it. Half Waft is handy on Falcon, but even then, I would prefer using Knee. Jigs loses rest. Done. Explained. Loses rest. Peach and Daisy lose Turnip. Easy. Bowser loses Bowser Bomb. Arguably loses his most reliable shield break. Arguably gains one of the most powerful attacks. And arguably gets perhaps one of the best uses of it because he can't be killed easily and can probably reliably camp it. Ices. They got a better recovery. I'm gonna say benefits. Blizzard is very kind of meh. It has a great use in edgeguarding, I think, and that's really it. Is just edgeguard. And yeah, that's handy and all, but like edgeguarding with Ices can also just be done with neutral B. And if I remember correctly, they actually nerfed Blizzard a lot or something. Let me see here. Yep. Only really effective in one-on-one edge guards, which is like very niche compared to Waft. Sheik gets a super benefit from it. Sheik finally gets a kill move. Can successfully camp out for it pretty easily due to high speed and like jump. Still keeps needles and like smoke bomb and what's the other one? I'm trying to think about it. The little bomb. And only loses bouncing fish, which honestly just feels like they slapped Zero Suit Samus's down special on the Sheik because they couldn't come up with anything else. And honestly, that's pretty great. Zelda being a zoner also benefits from having Waft because she can charge it up easily, and that's honestly great. Dr. Mario, he gets a better recovery, but it loses Dr. Tornado, which feels more integral to Doc. It's more important for Doc to have Tornado than Luigi because Doc actually needs it for part of his recovery. And without it, this means that Doc can be knocked off the edge and killed quite fast. And honestly, that sucks. Yeah, I do not like it. However, later in the match, he has full waft. Doc with full waft, pretty freaking terrifying, considering the fact that he can, like, pill into it probably pretty reliably. Falco. Honestly, I don't play a lot of Falco. I don't know a lot about Falco. All I know about Falco is that his reflector is alright. It's a decent tool. Can come in clutch. And the only bad part about it is how vulnerable it leaves you. Gaining Waft doesn't do much for his recovery. It doesn't do much for his, like, attack power, because from what I know, Falco primarily kills by spiking. So, no real change. Basically every Fire Emblem character at once. Losing counter. Honestly, gaining an actual attack, pretty dope. Losing counter, debatable. I feel like all of them, and yes, we're just going to do all of them basically, go into benefits. Where actually is... Well, actually, except for Corrin, who goes into barely benefits. Or not barely, strongly benefits. Because Corrin can camp it out easily. Not to mention that Corrin also can go, like, paralyze you and then use it. Any other Fire Emblems that have a counter? Nope. Wow. Look at that. There's a lot of characters. Young Link! Losing bombs sucks, but if I remember right, Young Link's bombs actually fucking suck. Oh, they actually do more damage, but are smaller. Kinda neat. I actually don't know much about them. Alright. They explode when they touch the ground. That's enough for me to say Young Link goes into no benefits. Ganondorf. Gains an actual recovery move. Can kill reliably with it. It pretty much can stall out to get it by just being Ganondorf and murdering. But loses Wizard's Foot. Arguably the coolest dunk he has. Arguably his greatest neutral tool. Barely benefits. Mewtwo loses Disable, which was like, congratulations, Mewtwo. There is no real benefits from this, though, because I actually do know a lot about Mewtwo, and Mewtwo does not like not having Disable, shockingly. It's actually a pretty good tool for him. Game & Watch loses Bucket. Oof. Meta Knight loses his cape move. Does this thing do anything, actually? Yeah, well, I guess it's like a little, like, movement. It's a movement option, I guess. And there is actually nothing notable about it, I believe. It's not really that great. Not really that bad. But Waft is definitely better than it, so we'll put it in barely benefits. Pit and Dark Pit. I actually do not know anything about their specials, because I barely pay attention to them. Oh, do both of you have this? Alright. Shields that reflect projectiles. Is that it? Is that really it? They just reflect projectiles or something? Hold on. Alright, they have HP and die. Oh, they can push opponents back. I feel like Pit benefits. I feel like Dark Pit also benefits. Actually, Dark Pit can go into strongly benefits. Because if I remember right, I was looking at this. His side B thing, I am going to get this horribly wrong, but the arm is really strong for reflecting projectiles. That's right, right? I forget. But he'll stay in benefits. Or strongly benefits. Zero Suit Samus loses her iconic kickflip that everyone uses on me because they think that it's smart, and then I proceed to stand there like, what were you doing, dumbass? Yeah. She can paralyze you in Waft now. But she loses, I guess, like... I don't really know what it actually would be like. Her recovery. What does her down special really do? I have absolutely no idea. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, oh, I can meteor smash with a sweet spot. That's great. Waft can kill without a sweet spot, so you go into benefit. Snake loses C4, gains Waft. Arguably barely benefits because they both kind of do the same job, except C4 kind of can do it more reliably. And here's a controversial one that we've finally gotten to. Pokemon Trainer is not going to be able to switch without down B. So all the Pokemon are going to be separate. So off the bat, Squirtle is the one who benefits the most because he can literally kill so fast with this move now. And he's speedy and quite possibly is going to get great things off it. Actually, I'm going to put him in strongly benefits. I think most important, though, is that even if he's not using it to attack, you gotta remember, Waft can be used as a recovery in terms of emergency. And Squirtle would appreciate that. Ivysaur benefits too, however, less than Squirtle. The reasoning for this is because Ivysaur can pretty reliably combo in the Waft with Bullet Seed. And that would be awesome. Next up is his recovery is not the best, but with Waft now, it could potentially save him from situations where he would need to switch into Charizard. And I really do think this. I do think that this could potentially be comboed into down air. Down air to Waft on Ivysaur, which is downright fucking sadistic. Charizard. He just wishes he had Rock Smash again. He doesn't really get much from it because he already has great kill power. So yeah. Diddy Kong loses his banana peel, gains Waft. Doesn't really get much from it, seeing his Jetpack. Actually, bump him down a tier, because Jetpack can do basically what Waft wants to, except better. And more reliably. Lucas no benefits, because if I remember right, he's the one where his Psi Magnet actually has movement text applied to it, unlike Ness. Which is kind of big for Lucas. The only thing I can see Lucas getting a positive from is freezing people and then farting on them to humiliate them even further. Sonic. Sonic benefits from Waft because he's just going to camp me out as usual, and then he's going to come flying at me with Waft. He loves using Waft because literally all he needs to do is run around at the speed of sound to get it going. And then he now has a kill move that he can time me out with. King DDD loses Jet Hammer, which I believe is actually really good for him to have. Because doesn't it have super armor on Swing and on Startup, actually? Let me check. I need to check this, because doesn't he get armor? Jet Hammer does more damage. It can break shields. However, it's super damn slow. Oh my god. I'm reading closely. Well, I'll be real. His hammer is really dope. And the only reason that DDD would want Waft is to send back Gordos in the funniest possible fashion that he can. Because I can't really see any other benefit to it. DDD will go in no change. Olimar loses his whistle, but gains Waft. This is actually shockingly a loss in my opinion, because Whistle has super armor that's consistent. It rallies up the Pikmin, which is really handy. And it just, like, what does Waft do for Olimar? His little, like, down B is supposed to be centric to his gimmick. Lucario, actually, I can't really think if he benefits or not. I'm gonna say no change, because honestly, he just has another counter. Except his counter's kinda meh. Rob loses Gyro. Needless to say, that was awful. Toon Link, no real benefits from losing Bomb. Actually, bump him down a tier, because he lost his Bomb too, and it's arguably a huge part of his kit. Wolf benefits. Losing a Reflector is not a big deal for Wolf. Especially since he's hyper aggressive. Villager can't plant a tree, but now can fart, and honestly, that is cursed enough to go into no benefits and loss. Mainly because tree is so good for Villager. Mega Man gets no benefits from Waft, and losing Leaf Shield is kind of like... it's kind of bad. Wii Fit Trainer loses Deep Breathing, and now gains a fart. Why would you want to lose Deep Breathing? Rosalina and Luma, they actually get no change. Rosalina and Luma have a great defensive down B, but now they're switching it to a great offensive one. And honestly, Rosalina is like... she's not gonna whip it out, like, in neutral or anything. Her down B originally only does good things with projectiles. And her down B now is an attack that takes a while to charge up. But on the bright side, I guess, when you have it charged up, Luma can just, like, destroy people, and then you just come in and fart on them and kill them instantly. Mac honestly gets the worst deal when it comes to counters. Or actually the second worst deal, but that'll be explained more. Mac honestly just needs his slip counter for his recovery. And it also is a good punishing tool since he's always like right up in the face of the opponent. Handy for him. Greninja. Well, honestly, Greninja... Substitute can be aimed in all directions, right? I haven't played Greninja in so long. I played Greninja like in high school. Alright. Let's see here. If Greninja can go in all directions, that actually would be very handy, I bet. Yeah, it's flexible. Oh, and diagonally. It's it is a rather limited counter, though. I'm gonna put it in benefits. It's a stupid sounding thing until you realize that Greninja can reliably camp out opponents. He's very fast. Characters who are very fast or have good times camping out generally do the best with Waft. And Greninja's got that. Me Brawler. I still can't believe this, but I had to actually look into this. And we gotta remember that Me Brawler now has no other down specials. So, get rid of Head-On Assault. I believe... Let's see here. Which ones do we get rid of, actually? We have to get rid of all the down specials. Well, I can only see Head-On Assault. Alright, Head-On Assault, Feint Jump, and Foot Flurry are out of the way. So, Head-On Assault is out of the way. Reliable Shield Break, if I remember right. Traded for Waft. Honestly goes into barely benefits tier. Mainly because of those Head-On Assaults that we received. What else do we got? We got Me Gunner. Or as I like to call them now, Sans. Honestly, kind of like... Ooh. On one hand, Me Brawler has pretty awful down specials. On the other hand... Let me actually check again. Me Brawler has pretty awful down specials in Echo Reflector, Bomb Drop, and Absorbing Vortex. These are all very... projectile based, except for Bomb Drop, which is just kind of like a kind of crappy tool outside of ledge warding. So, benefits. Good kill move. Especially when you're up close. Oh wait, that's me, Sword Fighter. Do not pay attention to the oops. Alright, so me, Sword Fighter, loses Power Thrust or loses one of two counters. Why is there so many goddamn counters? You know what? You can go up here with Me Gunner. Power Thrust was the only good one it gets, and even then, it's not even close to being basically Falcon Kick or Wizard's Foot. So yeah. Palutena kind of barely benefits, I want to say. Not much is really being put on the table when Palutena has Waft, except for the exorbitant amount of cash that people are going to get from screenshots of it. And honestly, when I think of like characters who don't want to lose their counter, Palutena is one of the first I think of. Palutena likes her counter, especially since it reflects projectiles. So yeah. I think that's one of the ones that she doesn't want changed. Pac-Man really sucks when he loses any of his specials, but losing Hydrant is especially huge. Look, Pac-Man loves his Hydrant. It's like his son. And you just took that from him. You took away one of his best setup tools. It was like taking away the tree from Villager or the peel from Diddy. Robin. Nosferatu is a move I don't really know much about. I do know that Robin does like having the books. Which I don't know much about Nosferatu. It's like a healing command grab, obviously. Alright, so let's see here. It can be the fastest. Yeah. This is actually the one that I had to look up because I was very confused. Now to explain it. Actually, no, bump him down to tier because Robin loses his fastest way to get a tome. And honestly, that's like taking away Peach's turnip, taking away Rob's gyro, taking away Diddy's peel. He really wants those. Otherwise, he doesn't really get much. Shulk's vision. I mean, it's just kind of obvious that this one's just another counter. It's just that I believe this counter is better than, like, most of the counters. Is that really it that it does, though, if I remember correctly? Alright, let's see what vision does different. Well, your Monado arts affect it. We're gonna have to assume, I guess, that Shulk's Monado arts will actually affect Waft then. You know, if Shulk's Monado arts affect Waft, then he should probably go in strongly benefits, seeing as the idea alone of Monado arts Waft is fucking horrifying. Bowser Jr. Bowser Jr. loses his Mecha Koopa, which is... How often do you actually hear about that? Yeah. Well, it is a handy item for him, so he does kind of lose a lot. Duck Hunt loses Gunman. Duck Hunt's Gunman is like... Yeah. How important and integral to Duck Hunt is he? Like, I actually have no idea. I'm gonna be real, everyone. Oh my god. Actually pretty important. Huh. Yep, it looks like they actually do have a lot of good for them. You know what? I'll put them. Yeah, they can also act as walls. So I'll put them in loss. Good for you, Duck Hunt. Finally getting that. I didn't even know that your gunman sucked so bad. Holy crap. But at least they get buff now. Also, I doubt that Waft would really help Duck Hunt. Ryu and Ken lose focus attack. This is a huge loss as well, because obviously, if they lose that, they lose one of their best setups into literally every one of their moves. Cloud loses Limit and instead gets Waft. Arguably, it's the same sort of deal. You're still doing very high knockback but very little damage. But now it takes 1:30 to charge. And there's barely a way for you to speed it up. Bayonetta loses Witch Time. Needless to say, that sucks. Inkling, I believe, loses Splat Bomb. That is hopefully right. Inkling. And if I remember right, these are one of the best kill tools. Alright, yeah. Alright. So yeah, it's like one of the better tools for Inkling. But gaining Waft is also great for Inkling because better close-up option after a long time and you're already pretty threatening. Ridley loses his stab, but gains Waft. This is actually a pretty... You know what, I'll say this is a benefits, because Ridley actually doesn't really use the stab other than looking cool. The damage output is great, but if you miss it, congratulations, you're a giant-ass monster and you are going to get hit and definitely comboed. Simon and Richter, I feel like this is a no benefits sort of deal where they really do like having the PK fire in a bottle and the ability to use that for very easy smash attacks and tilts. And then you take that away, but you give them kind of a better recovery, like a more forgiving recovery if they've stayed alive longer. It's kind of a deal where it's like, you really wish they didn't, like, have the downbeat they did. But you don't know if Waft is the better option. King K. Rool loses Gut Check. That is so awful. Isabelle loses her Lloyd Rocket, and due to the fact of how annoying that thing is online, yeah. Incineroar loses Revenge, so he loses his entire damn gimmick. Piranha Plant loses that weird... What did I actually call it? Long Stem Strike, which is perhaps the most awful down B I've ever seen. Look, I get the idea of Stem Strike just basically is like a thing Plant does, but at the same time, have you ever tried using this attack? Not only are you, like, definitely going to die, but Plant himself, or herself, or whatever you call Plant, I personally don't give a shit. Plant is also vulnerable as long as it's stretched out, leading to some very funny and very sad recoveries. Joker loses Rebel's Guard and gains Waft. That is a big one, no benefits. Not lost because Joker can still take damage to reliably charge up. And honestly, Rebel's Guard is just counter without the counter. Arsene is not going to affect Waft though, unlike Monado Arts. Arsene really just kind of turned Joker's down B into an entirely different move that was just a counter. And honestly, I don't think Arsene has anything up his sleeves to make Waft better. Unless he wants to make it, like, do poison or something. Hero loses a lot. Hero loses perhaps the most. Banjo and Kazooie, it's kind of a Link situation where they like having the bombs. Terry loses Power Dunk. This is going to imply that his command now doesn't do Power Dunk, but now does Waft. He gains nothing from that. Byleth actually manages to benefit because Amir is great, but let's be real, if you haven't parried Amir to show how useless it is to everyone, get on that. I want you all for your homework to show Byleth mains online how easy it is to parry their slow-ass move. Min Min, shockingly, is perhaps the greatest. Min Min barely benefits. You may be asking why. Seeing as Min Min can no longer change her arms from the Ram Ram. Well, that's great, because the Ram Ram's already pretty good. What else do you got? Well, you got the Dragon Laser. I can hit A. You lose the Megawatt. Damn, that's a shame. Too bad I only have a Dragon Laser and a Ram Ram. And now I'm packing Waft. Min Min is one of those who really likes camping out and honestly doesn't even need to approach sometimes. Honestly, I'm going to bump it up the benefits tier just because Min Min literally gains so much from this and only loses out on Megawatt. That's it. Steve. Losing TNT is huge. I actually had to look very deeply into this before making this. Some of these characters I really did look into because I actually did not know where they would go. Steve was so huge with TNT that I discovered that when he loses TNT, it's like a part of his literal everything. His recovery, his gameplay, his literal attacks. Steve just sucks. I was shocked to see that Waft didn't do anything for Steve. Even with, like, the attack power it has, TNT is more reliable and better. Sephiroth. I need to look this up. What is you have, like, a counter to. I forget what it does. Alright. It triggers even when Sephiroth... oh my fucking god. It's just another counterattack. But unlike most counters, it can break. And also, it just always attacks now. The counterattack itself is a projectile, so there is a risk of it being absorbed or reflected back. I did not actually know that. He is vulnerable from behind, too, which is kind of obvious. Kind of neat. Yeah, someone on the wiki put it perfectly. It's similar to Focus Attack. Don't know if I like it. Honestly, when I think about Sephiroth, he's somewhat of a decent zoner. But at the same time, you know what? We'll put this in, like, strongly benefits. Mainly because when it came to pulling straws to see which sword fighter gets which counterattack, Sephiroth kind of got the short end of the stick. Pyra and Mithra can no longer switch to each other, but thank God they can now fart. Oh boy. Pyra... I'm actually kind of... Ooh, I'm kind of... This is like Ike. Or Chrom. Who are both in benefits. But Pyra's kind of solid with her offensive abilities, unlike these two who need to get up really close. Pyra can actually do some decent damage from far away and has very reliable kill power. She kind of barely benefits, but Mithra, on the other hand, strongly benefits because this is actually a kill move for Mithra. That's right, everybody. You can finally get the Mithra kill screen, and all it needed was her to fart. Kazuya! I completely forgot what your down B was. Heaven's Door. Well, that's kind of cool. It's just a command grab. deals a lot of damage. Rage Drive makes it deal more. It's a lot like the Ganon side, except for putting it on side bead, though. They went, oh, well, just put that on down special, because we can't have another counter. Wait, actually, is that... Yeah, I was actually pretty right. It's actually useful as a defensive option, too. That's kind of nice. It's... You know, this is actually pretty weird. I feel like, honestly, this kind of benefits Kazuya. Because Kazuya already has some, like, things Waft can do with Heaven's Door. However, now with Waft itself, it's kind of improved. Needless to say, he can also stall out with laser. And then finally we have Sora, who, I swear to God, Sora, you have a counterattack. He has a counterattack. It reflects projectiles, although doing it behind him. Oh, my sweet Jesus. That's actually kind of... It does power them up like crazy, though. I will say. And it is able to break out of... Yeah, they are staggered on contacts, so they actually do get out of moves such as Wonder Wing and Kaklang. Kind of neat. Yeah, unlike many counter moves, counterattack cannot be reversed. And it has a cap of 30%. Huh. Not the most useful thing in the world. I feel like Sora is a no-change kind of deal where it's like, he didn't really need it. And honest to God, there's like very, very little benefit from having a Waft. Because he is already super floaty. And he has, I believe, a reliable kill move already. An F smash, right? I apologize for my lack of knowledge of Sora, but the last time I knew anything about Sora was... Yeah, never. I should have brought Yeetus in here to tell me. He probably could have told me something. Well, that's our tier list, I think. And it is in no particular order other than, like, obviously the tiers. Nobody is, like, higher up in a single tier or lower in a single tier because they would do better. This is just... This is the list. If there was any change I would make... What actually would I make? Yeah, I don't know if I'd make any change to this list. The only ones I can, like, off the top of my head, like, very much want to change. Maybe move... Mario down a tier. Other than that, I have no real, like, big things I want to change. So yeah. That's our list, everybody, of what would Smash characters be like if their down Bs were replaced with Waft. If you ever want a list like this ever again, you better, like, say so in the comments on YouTube or in the chat. And I really hope you don't. Because this was the weirdest thing I've ever had to do. But, yeah. that's really it. Feel free to screenshot. It goes kind of hard. Be safe, everybody, and good night.